Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? It was a nice day over here, and I just went for a bike ride. I love this in a park and over the river and on a bike trail. It was so cool. I just love that. Oh, well, now I'm ready and I really want to read you a little bit of this book and continue from my previous video that we started. The book calls In Business for Yourself by Bruce Williams, and we were reading a part, chapter 15, Growth, and we stopped at the part of, wait, problems of growth. So I'm going to continue, and if you're interested, I will be glad to know about it if you write me in live chat, and you can write me comments under my video. It is available, yes. And you can write me email too with a suggestion of the book you would like to read or any comments on my reading. And to continue now, I will tell you a little bit what we were reading before. It was already on the problems of growth. So if you are growing too fast, you have to realize with some offers, can you really do that? Can you help those people who need your services or your product? And can you afford to make it for them on time and in the right volume? So let's continue. One day, one of my drivers was sick and unable to find a replacement. I drove the truck myself. After a week of driving, I had seen before my eyes what I should have seen on paper. We were not making any money. So, sometimes good to go by yourself, huh? We weren't losing money either, but we were spending our time in a profitless project. I had to see it to understand it. Just as it's one thing to read about a traffic fatality in a newspaper and another to see it happen in front of you. Everybody else I dealt with was making money. My suppliers, my gasoline salesmen, my drivers, everybody except one guy. I walked away from it. I laid off people, sold the truck, and found that without the chains business, I was making more money. After that revelation, I really went on a major house cleaning, writing myself off all my gift shops, reading myself of all my gift shops, and cutting down exclusively to the hospital gift shop business. My volume declined to 30% of what I had been doing, but my profit increased by 200%. I was doing less business and making more money. Make a note of that. When the opportunity for growth comes along, you have to ask yourself whether it is worth it to you to do so much business. Maybe you would be better off to cut the business back by 10%. If you own a bakery, for example, your one delivery truck can only deliver so much bread in the course of a day. Only so much can be loaded in a truck. Only so many stops can be made, and so on. At a certain point, you are maxed out. You reach that point, and then you get 2 more customers. If you add another truck, the profit curve is going to plummet. If you figure out the arithmetic, you will see that you now have 2 drivers and 2 trucks, making a total of 22 stops per day, or an average of 11 per truck. You have reduced your efficiency by almost 50%. That's the way it usually happens. Usually you cannot wait until you have another 20 customers lined up and then get another truck and another driver. That might happen if you had a hot item and were the only game in town. But usually you have to pop in the new truck and watch your efficiency fall off. As you get bigger, growth of this sort becomes less of a problem, because if you have 2 trucks and add a third, you do not lose 50% of your efficiency, but only a third of it. Nevertheless, in most business, every time you want to grow, your profit curve is going to drop first before it goes up. So don't worry. Wait and be patient. It's that drop that kills a lot of businesses if it goes on for too long. An additional employee for a growing business almost always means a drop in the profit curve. Although it depends upon the business and upon the level of employee in most cases. A new employee is not productive at the beginning of employment. Whatever you are paying him or her is too much. The new employee, in terms of profits, is often not just worthless but a liability, because not only is he screwing things up, but another employee is using up time training him and correcting his mistakes. So 2 people are on that, not just 1 new employee. Okay. Let's finish on this today, and I have to go outside and make some barbecue with the shrimps. So it's a nice weather over there, and it was very nice to read a little bit and sit down and see how you doing. You're welcome to subscribe to my channel, write me emails with your suggestions, and I will be very glad to get to know you better. Bye-bye.